Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Cantina. Today we're having a look at the Hasbro Jurassic World Growlers assortment, Velociraptor Blue. As you can see here, the packaging is quite similar to what we saw with the Bashers and Biters assortment Ankylosaurus. But this packaging is a little bit larger in order to accommodate a larger figure. The same setup is at play here. We have the new Jurassic World logo, along with the red, blue, and white dinosaur skin theme, the stylized T-Rex on the right, and then a picture of the Velociraptor figure in the center. All in all, I quite like this packaging. One side of the box reminds you that this is Jurassic World Velociraptor Blue, while the other lets you know that there are 2 batteries included. And the back gives us a nice look at the figure, along with a brief description for Velociraptor Blue. Now, Velociraptor Blue is supposed to be the pack leader for Velociraptor Squad. There are 3 other Velociraptor figures coming from Hasbro, though none of them are electronic. Each of them looks different, and once you assemble the 4 together, you have Raptor Squad. Let me go ahead and get Blue out of the packaging, and we'll take a closer look at her. Alright, my friends, and here is Velociraptor Blue out of the packaging. And I must say, she's a very nicely sculpted figure. Additionally, the paint on her looks to be very nicely done and quite realistic. Now, yes, she is a little bit stylized and pre-posed to kind of look like she's, about to attack. But even so, it's a very nice pose, and it seems to really capture the essence of the Velociraptors as we've seen them before in the Jurassic Park films. The physique of the figure does look quite nice. She looks very proportionate, and there's not a whole lot that's too wild or wacky looking here, like with what Hasbro has done with some of the Bashers and Biters figures. The Velociraptor Blue looks quite natural, and again, the paint looks to be very, very well done. Here's a close-up of Blue's head. As you can see, it's quite nicely done. All the sculpt work looks to be quite good. You can definitely see all the little detail here for the scaling and, the wrinkling and folds in the skin. All that is there, so they really did a good job of, sculpting her. Very nice tail. I love the shape of it. It looks very lifelike, the curvature that it has to it. You can't move it, but, at least if they were going to pre-pose it, they pre-posed it in a way that, looks pretty good. Now, the eye on it looks quite good, very much like they appear in the film. The mouth looks pretty good. Teeth look pretty good. Not as much detail as what we've seen with the Papo figures. Given that the teeth kind of look like they all kind of flow together. There's not a whole lot in the way of, gaps there. The mouth looks, decent. There's some detail there for the tongue. And then the inside of the mouth, looks all right. Just a little bit of detail on the roof of the mouth, it looks like, but nothing too crazy. The paint is pretty good, though. I do see a little bit of a pink spot right there. A little bit of the flesh color looks like it leaked into the mouth on that side. So, paint isn't perfect, but on the whole, it's pretty good. The claws look quite nice. Got all the nice folding there. The legs, very nice detailing here. And luckily, our raptor has the sickle claw on both of the feet. There has been, quite a bit of controversy with the other raptors that are coming in the Jurassic World toy lineup, since they do not have the sickle claws on them for whatever reason. So, that's kind of a bummer, but, luckily with Blue, she has them, so that's a really good thing. The pattern on her is quite nice. It looks like there's, a little bit of striping on her, which is quite reminiscent of the Velociraptors from Jurassic Park 3. And it's kind of also similar to what we saw with the Papo Velociraptor figure. There's more of a yellowish white kind of color down here at the bottom that kind of, carries all the way through the tail. It's pretty good. I mean, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more blending, especially like here in the midsection area, because it's kind of a harsh line, whereas on the tail it's actually, pretty good. You can see some pretty decent blending on it, but, the lines on other areas, are just a little bit more harsh. They could have blended that just a little bit more. But, minor gripe. Now, Blue does have some articulation. You can move her arms somewhat, but when you let them go, they slide back in place, and that's because of the action feature, which I will show you in just a moment. The right leg doesn't seem to really move. It looks like it could, but it's very, very stiff, whereas the left leg does move. You can move that around. Now, there are two features. The first one is for the tail, which you can move. And basically what you're going to do is move her tail downward. And you see her arm slash, and she just lets out a growl. Now, the other action feature is right here, where you can see the dino damage. You simply press it, and she makes a sound, and the dino damage, for whatever reason, lights up. Not quite sure why on this green earth she would do that, but she certainly does. And, maybe she saw a little light bulb at Jurassic World, or she bit an electric fence, and, who knows. Quite silly, but, at least the sound is pretty good. Both of the sound effects, I think, are quite nice. I would like to have seen a hinge here at the jaw. That way you could have at least shut it. But, obviously that was not meant to be. So, again, if Hasbro was going to stylize it in any way, I think they picked a pretty nice pose to place it in, because it does look pretty good as is. And just to give you a sense of scale with the Ankylosaurus we previously reviewed, here is Velociraptor. She is a larger figure overall, and I don't think they are to scale, because otherwise she should be quite a bit smaller. But the Growlers assortment that Velociraptor Blue is part of are overall larger in scale than the Bashers and Biters assortment that Ankylosaurus comes from. And just because, here is a comparison with the Papa Velociraptor. As you can see, both dinosaurs are quite similar in color, all the way from the striping, which is somewhat similar, to the eye color, which is kind of orangey on both figures. Okay, everyone, so there you have it. This is the Jurassic World Growlers assortment Velociraptor Blue. On the whole, I am quite happy with this figure. I think Hasbro did a really nice job sculpting it and painting it. Some of the paint is a little bit sloppy in a few areas, but all in all, it's not terribly bad. The actual colors that they used are very nice and give it a pretty natural look, which I'm quite pleased about. Yes, it is pre-posed quite stylistically, but it's a pretty good pose, and it looks kind of like what we've seen in the Jurassic World trailers. The action features on it are quite nice. It's really cool that they incorporated two different features to it. Though I gotta say, the light up dino damage is just plain weird. But, whatever. This is a $15 toy, and at least they're giving you a little bit more bang for your buck. The Growlers assortment, does run $5 more than the Bashers and Biters series. But on the whole, they look to be a little bit nicer and maybe a little bit more geared to older children. She's not a perfect figure by any means, but I am quite pleased with it. Now, if you're looking for the Jurassic World toys, the only place I have personally seen them at is at Toys R Us. I've been checking Target and Walmart and have not seen them there yet, though from what I have heard, they are hitting some Walmart stores. So keep an eye out. For the Growlers assortment, Velociraptor does seem to be the more popular figure. And again, the three other Raptors are coming without any kind of electronics, so I am really looking forward to getting those too. That way I can have all four of the Raptor squad together. So if you like Jurassic Park and you're into Velociraptors, you're probably going to like this figure. It's probably the best Velociraptor figure that Hasbro has ever done, and that even goes back to the Kenner days when they were doing them for the original Jurassic Park movie. So go ahead and find Velociraptor Blue. She is a cool figure. I am quite pleased with her, and I'm sure you will like her too. Thanks for watching Victoria's Cantina. Until next time, bye-bye.